Welcome back, everyone, to the 6th episode of the Morning Chisme. I am so excited to have you guys here today, either listening on Spotify, Apple, or watching on YouTube. Sister, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very chipper.
Is it you're gorgy?
Yeah, I'm obsessed. Like, literally, I think I could stop drinking coffee and go straight to gorgy.
Really? Gorgy, I'm going to need you to sponsor us.
Gorgy, if you're out there listening, please, let's...
I know you are obsessed.
I am. I've been drinking... Me and Chris have been saying we're a gorgy family.
So what is it? Like an energy drink?
It's a natural energy drink that has B6 and B12, and it's made out of green tea caffeine.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was like, coffee. I love coffee, but I got the ick with cold coffee like a while back.
Oh,
so
I hate
cannot drink it. I cannot drink it. It was like this random time where I had just like coffee with creamer, and it's separated in my mouth, and I cannot explain it. Like after that. It was over for me.
I get the ick from food. Like, I have, like, certain periods of times where, like, eggs are a no.
Yes.
Where yogurt is a no.
Yes.
Where I'm like, okay, like, I need to take a step back. And then I, like, ease myself back into it. Like, I had Eggs Benedict. I think for Arlene's birthday last year, I wanted to vomit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
I can't. And then I couldn't look at eggs for, like, 6 months.
No, I totally understand that. When you get the ick with food, it's just like game over for like a 3 to 5 month period.
Yeah.
In my opinion, especially with eggs, I start to think like the egg came from a chicken, and then it spirals, and it's just like, yeah. So then it's like, oh shit. Or then when I think about like meat too, I'm just like,
oh yeah. Remember when I was vegetarian for like 6 years?
6 years?
Yes.
I thought it was like a year.
No, I was vegetarian for 6 years.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I did know you were vegetarian, but I didn't know it was...
Yeah.
We need a fact check. Somebody please fact check.
No, everybody can tell you I was a vegetarian for 6 years.
Was it hard?
I wasn't like a big meat eater to begin with.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And then I was a pescatarian. Okay, so like I was a vegetarian, hardcore vegetarian for like 3 to 4 years, and then I started eating fish because the doctor was like, you need
some.
Yeah. And so then I was a pescatarian.
Oh, okay. One of our best friends, Anna, she's been a vegetarian since she was like 13. And honestly, like, I always tell her, like, that is really impressive.
Yeah.
Like, the self-control, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like meat's hard to give up. Like, it's not easy to become a vegetarian.
I think at the time, though, we didn't eat a lot of meat. We ate a lot of chicken. So it was, like, easier to give up.
Yeah.
But I will say, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, I think that because, we have evolved in the times, there's a lot of vegetarian options and vegan options out there. So
the substitutions make up for it.
Substitutions made it easy.
Yeah, no, of course. And I think the chicken would be a problem for me. And now I've recently become like a steak person. I never ate steak growing up. We never ate steak growing up. And I really honestly did not have like a nice steak until probably me and Chris my boyfriend went to Cabo, and I had a tomahawk. Bitch. I was like, this is how the other half lives?
Yeah.
It was a $200 steak, and it was divine. The mashed potatoes were like, I think that's the best meal and the most expensive meal I've ever had. Dang. I did not know tomahawks were that expensive. It was $200.
That's insane.
I was like, is this a premium cow? Like,
I think that like in meals like that, you have to think about it as an experience.
Oh, no, it was an absolute experience. Yeah. And we were, like, out of the country.
Yeah.
But it ended actually really poorly. So, funny story. Me and Chris went to Cabo. We stayed at an all-inclusive resort, and it had, like, a special restaurants for people who were staying, like, a certain amount of nights or more and staying in, like, the premium suites or whatever. And it was for his birthday. And we went to eat at the restaurant, and we were so full. Because it's, like, a tomahawk is, like, a fucking big-ass amount. We took the tomahawk. We were drunk, and Chris didn't put it in the microwave. So the next day we woke up and there was ants all over it. And Chris was like, I have to save it. I was like, it's a goner, Chris.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, I will eat it. I was like, no.
Well, I mean, it was a $200
I know,
steak.
and it was really good. So it was just one of those moments where you're like, you have to take the L.
Yeah.
And we took the fattest L.
Damn.
I know.
That sucks.
I know. Yeah. Anyways, so this weekend, I kept it pretty chill. I didn't really do anything, but you had a few events.
I know. I did have and I still have quite more. So I had my best friend's son's birthday yesterday, Bashi. Shout out to Bashi.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bashi. He's so cute. And then we had Nia's bachelorette last night, which was fun. So much fun. Yeah. We went to a burlesque show here in Houston called Riches. It wasn't in the Riches...
Like original club?
Yeah. It was somewhere else, but it was really fun. I definitely recommend a burlesque show to everyone.
Yeah, those are fun. It's like a vibe. Like every once in a while. But what I did is I watched the lives from Bad Bunny's Most Wanted Tour, the shows in Puerto Rico. Oh my God. These people got the best fucking experience. And as he should, you know?
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Attending a Bad Bunny concert in Puerto Rico would be a dream because you just know they get, like, you get him 120%.
200.
Yeah.
Like, he just looks... Of course, throughout the Most Wanted Tour, he was excited. And, you know, like, when we went to Austin, it was great. And it was a great experience.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny always puts on a good show. But in Puerto Rico, like, you can see the excitement in his face. Like, those are his people. It's his home. Like, it's just... the way he looks so happy.
Yeah.
And he goes all out. He literally had 5 or 6 guests. Yesterday, he had Fade. The night before, he had Young Miko, Mora, like, a bunch of other artists. Like, it was just... watching the live, I was just like, he is so happy. Like, it made me happy to see. Definitely sad to see that the tour is coming to an end because I always enjoy the periods of time on TikTok where it's like tour season.
Yeah, and it was really crazy because at the beginning of his tour, I didn't see a lot of it on my TikTok, but then as time went by, you know, more and more came on. And
yeah, no, for sure.
And I've seen a couple videos. Well, I've seen a bunch of videos actually, and it looked like so much fun.
Yeah, no, it looked like a good ass time.
And Kendall was there. Yeah,
and Kendall was there. They had spotted her at a restaurant like a day or so before the first show, and then she was spotted at the show. And apparently no Gabriela as well. I know.
I wonder if Kendall's like, you can't be friends with Gabriela.
I'm sure it's not like... it's not fun.
I'm creating drama when there doesn't need to be any drama.
But I mean, I'm sure there's... somewhere lies the truth of like her probably not like being no girl would be super happy to have her new man's or current man's like ex like around all the time.
I know.
Even if they were like,
should take a note of that.
Who?
Carrie Bradshaw. Just kidding.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm rewatching too, so we'll get to that later.
Yeah. But yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
Was she there last night? I know that she was there Friday night.
I think so. I saw a video, but I don't know if it's a video from the night before or from yesterday, but she's definitely in Puerto Rico.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Yeah.
I feel like I've said this before. It doesn't shock me anymore.
No, yeah.
If it was something that would shock me, then I would be like, oh my goodness, like what's going on? But we went through the shocking period of phase, like that period of time that this is just Bad Bunny and Kendall. And they're an attractive couple. Like,
yeah, I mean, she's literally a model.
So many people like say, ew, I can't believe it. No.
Yeah.
And like, I get it. Okay. Like I get it because people have their views of the Kar Jenners, right? But what are we gonna do? Tell him to not date her?
Yeah.
I'm sure it makes him want to date her even more. Like,
I honestly think he does not give a flying fuck about what anyone thinks, and he's gonna do what he wants.
Exactly. And I think that's always been him. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, this is not Bad Bunny. He's always been someone who just does not give a fuck and is gonna do whatever he wants to do.
His album is literally called I'm going to do whatever I want. Like, you know, so it doesn't shock me that he doesn't take anyone else into consideration because at the end of the day, it's his life. Like, I understand both sides. Like, I understand that people like fell in love with him for a certain reason and they feel like he's kind of going against that. But at the same time,
I understand that part. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, what are we going to do? A petition to break them up? Like,
yeah, it's not going to work.
It's not.
And I do see them like having like a longer future.
Yeah, me too. Especially now that he is not going to be on tour.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely thought that there was going to be an announcement that came this weekend because I'm a delusional ass bitch and I would love another album, but I think he's probably tired. Like, you know, Tori looks tiring as fuck.
You know, I always thought that there was going to be like a side B to his album.
Yeah.
Maybe it's coming later.
Yeah. I honestly feel like every time artists go on tour, I'm like, how are you fucking not exhausted? Like, when they go on after the show, I'm like, I'm tired and I'm not going anywhere. And I did nothing. I just stood there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like redoing it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. At the very end of the show, actually, on Friday, somebody threw a Puerto Rican flag with Free Palestine on stage and the dancers held it up, which was a moment in my opinion.
It was a very beautiful moment. I actually teared up because the dancers like were holding the flag and waving the flag. And it was just, you know, due to the things that are currently going on in the world. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, I agree. Especially during El Apagón.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which song it was, but I think that's the last song.
Yeah.
Which is completely a little bit different than the other set list. So I was like, wow, you know, it was a moment for sure.
Yeah. And someone said that they threw the flag during the part where Gabby's part comes on, and Gabby's been very vocal about Palestine
on her Instagram stories. It was a moment.
It made sense. It was really nice to see.
Yeah. Speaking of shocking, you said earlier there was it wouldn't shock you about Bad Bunny and Kendall. What would shock me if Rosalia and Raul Alejandro got back together? I don't think that's ever going to happen.
But I had this tiniest glimpse of maybe they could after that blind item came out with Demois. But since we didn't see any pictures, we didn't, see any videos. Like, I need proof. Because at this point, in this day and age, there is, you can literally take pictures and videos. Like, if you just send a blind item without any attachments to it, in 2024, I'm not going to believe you. You could have taken a picture.
Well, Demois went on their podcast and said that they were trolling. So, I know. She was like,
how dare they?
I know. Well, she doesn't know for sure if they were trolling, but she was like, the way they told her what street it was on, she was like, a person that lives in New York would never say it like that. Like, no one would call it that or something. So she was like, I think they were trolling. But over the weekend, or a few days ago, Raul Alejandro and Rosalia stan on Twitter kind of went at it.
I know, you sent that to me.
Honestly, a lot of people were bashing him for defending himself, and I understand being above it when it comes to being a celebrity, but if I was famous, I would go to the pits of hell if people were taking me there, you know?
I know, and I tell you that sometimes because as people that just post TikToks, and this nowhere near anything, okay, people come for you on TikTok comments, and I'm the person that if you come for me and you're disrespectful, you will get blocked, whereas you,
I want to argue.
Fighter. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Not argue, but it's the thing is with these people is they come on your page and then they start disrespecting you. We can have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
But when you start disrespecting me, I'm not gonna sit there and take it and read it on my phone that you don't fucking pay. This is my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my account. I can post whatever I want. You can post your difference of opinion, but it can be respectful.
Exactly.
Period.
I agree. So Raul Alejandro was performing at the Governor's Ball in New York this weekend, which he's booked and busy. Love that for him.
Booked and busy.
Talented as fuck. So this Rosalia stan account is you should play Dile a él. Blah blah blah, because it's a song that Rosalia wrote or claims this stan.
It was
claims.
Dile a él, your best song, and it's not even one you wrote or something like that.
And he was like, actually, I did write it, and the stan was like, well, on Spotify it says that Rosalia wrote it, and he was like, no, it says that she was a part of the song. Spotify just doesn't have the updates to differentiate collaborators and people who produced it collaborated instead of writing it.
Yeah.
He's like, I wrote the song. And then the stan was just going back and forth with him and saying that he was in his flop era. And I just
I don't believe that.
No.
Please.
No. Raul Alejandro in his flop era is literally a factual lie. You're literally lying. Because he's at the peak of his career. He's killing it.
He is.
His last 2 albums were a massive hit. He was nominated for a Grammy. Please tell me where the flop... I cannot find it.
Yeah, where is the flop era?
Yeah, no. I mean... Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I understand that the stans are, standing.
That's the thing that I don't understand. Some of these fan bases, get too far. So she was part of the song.
Yeah, no, she sings at the very end as well.
Okay, so, the credit is given on Spotify. What more do you want?
I know, and also this song is from, 3 albums ago. We've moved on, you know?
And he sang it, or it's... Some of these people just take it too far. And honestly, I know that I say that when people are disrespectful to me, that I just block and move on. But sometimes I do be fighting back a little these days.
No, yeah, because people are so...
It's tiring.
Yeah, people are so open to being rude.
Exactly. And I think that he wanted to speak his truth. And his truth was that, yes, Rosalia was on the song, but also he wrote it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And he was so nice about it. He was like, have a wonderful day, whatever. Like, he was being above it, but also correcting the person that was commenting. He was definitely nicer than I would have been. And then people were saying, like, oh, like, why do you have time to answer? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, if I was seeing constantly, because he is getting hate from people still. Like, I would want to correct people too. Like, it gets old, I'm sure. Yeah. Like, another example, Lana Del Rey was in Paris this weekend, and a group of fans was, like, following her around. They took pictures, and then they told her they were going to alter the pictures and put them up and make her look bad, and she went off on them. Like, I get it. Like, eventually, you cannot say whatever you want and not expect people to react.
You poke the bear so many times, it's going to attack. Like, it's like, what are we doing? Yeah. And as people, as humans, what the fuck is wrong with some people? Like, please grow the fuck up. Like, you say shit like this, and then obviously Lana is going to react and say something, and then once again they're gonna try and make it seem like she went off on them. But like, what is the reason that you gave her to go off on you?
Exactly. I felt bad for her. She was like, I have 4 hours to my day. I'm with my family. Please just like stop or whatever. And I could tell it like somebody was recording it. Obviously, it went on Twitter. I just felt bad for her because in moments like that, like, people are like, you should be above it. You're like a celebrity, but like, you know.
I get that. Like, you should get used to it because you're a celebrity. Like, you should be above it. But at the same time, it's like, if you catch me on the wrong day,
like
what do you expect?
They have been.
I'm gonna go off on you. Like.
Yeah, they've been probably harassed by many fans, like many a times. It wasn't like the first time. They're not responding like this every single time. This was like a level of annoyance that they were feeling after a few times. So I get it. But on to the next story. So as we know, Becky G and Sebastian, they had their little situation last year where he was caught cheating on her. Yeah. And
after he proposed to her.
Oh, they were fiancés. I forgot about that.
They were engaged. Yeah.
I feel like I just unlocked a memory. I forgot they were engaged.
Was this last year?
Yeah, this was last year. Was this last year?
But they were engaged the year before.
Yeah, they were together for a while. They got engaged. He got caught cheating. He posted on his Instagram. I don't even know if we could say he acknowledged what he did wrong, because the Instagram story was very much like a wordy ass fucking Instagram. Like Neymar, when he got caught cheating, he wrote like a fucking 3-page book on the whole thing. Like, it was very much like, I don't even know it was like acknowledging. He acknowledged it without acknowledging it. Anyway, they weren't seen together for a long time. She released her album. People fire, very fire. People were saying that a few of the songs were like implying that she was heartbroken. Then boom, they pop up together at a coffee shop.
I was heartbroken listening to that fucking album. I was like, Rebecca. It was just really emotional. A lot of her songs, like
Por el Contrario, had me fucking falling down the wall crying. And
dude,
shit, man, that's a good one.
And now he posted a picture of them. Well, not of them.
Yeah, with her arm,
hands.
Yeah, that's definitely her. They're back together. But people were saying that they were always together. She just like didn't show him or didn't spend time with him in public so that the paparazzi couldn't see, because she was promoting her album, and her album was like healing vibes. Look, at the end of the day, she's gonna do whatever she wants to do.
Exactly.
And I just hope that he doesn't do it again. Like, I wish her the best.
If he does it again,
it is just such a criminal act to cheat on Becky G.
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. She's fucking gorgeous. Not only that, I just don't like these celebrities and these artists that cheat. You think these people are not gonna open their fucking mouths?
I know.
Come on.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't think you should cheat at all. I think it's a bad idea. But if you're gonna do it, at least be smarter about it.
Yeah, like you can't be a celebrity. Yeah. You cannot be like Neymar really thinks that he can do it left and right, and every motherfucking time he gets called out.
Yes, but she, Bruna, Biancardi, she would stay with him. So I mean, he probably was like, "Oh, she's gonna forgive me again," until she left.
That's true.
And I did feel really bad for her because she was just a new mom, barely had given birth.
But also he kept saying like, and I understand she got back together with him, and he probably fed her that fucking bullshit of like, I'm gonna change. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you want to see that in a partner, and like, though he had cheated like 10 times already, you know, but I think that now that she had a daughter, she was like, I can't do this because of my daughter. Yeah. Which is valid. But he's a fucking idiot. She's beautiful. Yeah. And like,
it goes to show that it's not about looks. It's never about looks.
I know. Like, just fucking simmer down. Like,
I will say, and this might be a mean take on this, and I understand that, and I will take the heat for it. Neymar got crusty as fuck looking when he started doing all these like fuckboy activities. Like,
yeah.
he was so handsome, and then things started coming out about him, like being like kind of a shitty partner.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the allure of his looks kind of went away for me.
Yeah. I still think he's an attractive man.
Speaking of cheating, this is kind of like a far-fetched theory, and I definitely want your thoughts. So, you watch Scandal, right?
Of course.
Olivia Pope and Fitz, the chemistry was unmatched on screen.
Why have I been seeing them on my TikTok lately? Like, the actual persons. The actual people.
Yes.
Kerry Washington, what are you doing?
Kerry Washington posted a TikTok. It was like before the Black Wife effect, and then after, and it's a picture of her and the actor that plays Fitz.
Tony.
And I thought it was like a fan edit. And then I look at the name and I see Kerry Washington, and I'm like, what? Like, I understand they're good friends. I'm sure it's not that deep, but
the chemistry.
Girl.
I could not be with someone who was like a famous actor because, like, how are you not falling in love?
No, I have a theory that they're in love with each other.
I have a theory that a lot of people are in love with each other. Mm-hmm. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, no,
Meredith Grey, Derek Shepherd, in real life.
Really?
I absolutely think they were in love.
Really?
Yes.
That's an interesting one. Wow, okay. We'll dive into that deeper later, but when I saw this TikTok, I was like, Kerry Washington. And they post each other on Instagram, and I dove deep onto his. And I was looking for his wife. I was like, where is she? And she wasn't anywhere in there. It took me like 5 full finger scrolls to find his wife.
How many scrolls for Kerry?
No, for him, he's on, I don't even know what her husband looks like. But Tony, first page. I was like, Kerry. And then they're at events, like he kisses her cheek, and during like a press tour for one of his movies in March, he was like playing a lawyer or something, and somebody asked him about Kerry Washington, and she was like, she hasn't called me yet to give me tips, but I'm sure she will soon. And I'm like,
they were such like an it couple when Scandal was, not it couple, but like people like loved them. And the chemistry was there. I mean,
the chemistry is there as in like real life.
Yeah.
There was a Dumois blind. Keep in mind, Dumois is not always right. It's allegations, you know, that they're cheating on their spouses with each other. And I would, if tomorrow it came out that Kerry Washington and Tony, is it Goldwyn or Galdwyn?
I think it's Goldwyn. But I don't know. Don't quote me.
If Kerry and Tony came out tomorrow and we're like, oh, we've been cheating for the last 10 years, I wouldn't. Not a single ounce of me would be shocked. Not a single ounce. After that TikTok?
I mean, I've never seen their real partners.
In the nicest way, I think that they're very cute together, and that their partners they match well, really, really well together.
Kerry and Tony?
Yeah. I don't know. But he's been married since 1987, bitch.
Oh so my God.
I'm 30.
But so was like Hugh Jackman, and then he like...
Oh, and then they broke up.
Yeah.
And then also Meryl Streep and her husband had been married for like 50 years, and they broke up too.
They did?
Yes, dude.
Not
Meryl. Queen. Anyways, I thought it was crazy. I was like,
yeah, this is wild.
Crazy. Speaking of couples who've been married forever, Sarah Jessica Parker has been married to her husband since like the 90s, which I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I've been rewatching Sex and the City now that it's on Netflix. And
dude, it has like, I'm so infuriated watching these episodes. What? Look, I watched it in my 20s or like younger.
Yeah, no, it's been out since the like early 2000s.
Are you calling me old?
No, I'm just saying like we've been alive for a while. Okay. You just had a birthday.
I did.
You're literally 57. It's like literally a thing. I'm just kidding. She's 33.
Kerry pisses the fuck out of me. Oh my God, I can't.
Dude, she's a pendeja.
Her and Big, Big does not like Kerry.
No.
Period.
No.
Period. Like, Big does not like Kerry.
He does not fuck with Kerry in the least.
In the least.
In the literal least. Like, he would literally pick okay. So I've been rewatching. Like you mentioned, we're in our 30s now. I rewatched when I was 18. Kerry is the biggest pick-me. The only reason Big picked her was because she was there and he was old.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like when he left her?
He went to Paris. Okay, first of all, he didn't want her to meet his mom.
1.
He went to Paris and got engaged to Natasha.
2.
Okay. Then, literally, they cheated on Aiden and Natasha.
3.
Okay. And then they still weren't together after that. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then he kept, like, just doing, like...
Didn't she get back together with Aiden?
Yes. And she took him to Aiden's cabin. Like, Carrie, someone slapped the fucking shit out of her. I don't understand. Like, someone brought it up because I was talking about it on my TikTok, and someone brought up like that she took Big to Aiden's cottage, and I'm like, I break up right then. Like, the fact that you're even still friends with this man and having phone conversations, because in one episode they're having like a phone conversation.
Yeah.
I would have broken up with you. I would have, if I was Aiden, I would have been like, it's either
and
me.
she had already cheated on him with him. Like,
Yes.
are you okay?
Yes.
And then she always played the victim. Like, when have you watched the Burger part of it all? I mean, Burger was a very small portion, and he sucked too. But the fact that she met Burger, then went to sit down and have like lunch with the girls, and she was upset that he had a girlfriend. I was like, you need help, Carrie.
Yeah, serious help. It's like, Carrie's like really, really frustrating to watch.
Yeah, I think as you age, the show, it looks so differently to you.
So differently.
And you also take into consideration that these women were like in their 30s.
Yeah.
And that's wild.
Yeah.
Like, this is like 19-year-old behavior. And like the rest of the ladies like put up with her shit.
I could not.
Samantha, Charlotte, and Miranda were like all better than Carrie.
They were.
Yeah.
It's just, Carrie had the better style.
Yeah.
And that's why she was iconic, which is fine. Like, she, you know, it's like, have you seen that TikTok? It's like, I hate the way you walk. It's the song.
Yeah,
the Kendrick song. But people are not saying, like, I hate the way you walk, you talk. I do love the way you dress to Carrie. Because Carrie is well dressed, but she sucks.
She's up in there.
And then, not only that, but like, you were really shocked that Big left you at the altar. Like,
I know.
Like, there was nothing. And then you went back to him.
I know. I mean, but then he died on the treadmill. Or the Peloton. And then she went back to Aiden. She spin the block. She's like, actually, Big was a mistake. Let me go back to Aiden. As in, I'm in my big ass age. She's like 50 by now.
Dude, watching it makes me...
If I ever get to the level of delusional that Carrie is, waterboard me, okay?
I will slap the fuck out of you.
Please do.
With the waterboard.
It was too much. It was too much. But it's a good watch. I'm glad it's on Netflix, because HBO Max, like, relax. It's like, actually, no. Netflix is expensive too. These streaming services are like, let's just keep adding dollars to your monthly subscription.
Now for Netflix, if you're not watching it in the physical home.
Yeah.
Physical. I don't know why I said physical like that.
You said physical. Dude, sometimes you mispronounce words and you're like, oh.
It's embarrassing. That's one of the things that I was scared of doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Anyways, now you have to pay extra. Like, I pay for ours and I pay for parents, and they're like a whole $8 extra.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't pay the $8 for parents, but like,
it's the audacity.
Simmer the fuck down. Like, I already have to pay so much for a streaming service. Now you're telling me I can't share?
I know, it's wild.
They live down the street, like,
I know.
15 minutes away.
It's
Jesus.
crazy. It's very much crazy.
They're like, and then they're like, you'll log in when you're on vacation. It's like, it looks like you're not at your address. Are you on vacation? Why are you asking me this?
Yeah.
Like, who are you to ask me this information?
Netflix decided to use Find My Friends.
Like, it's fucking...
Find My Customers.
It's so dumb. Like, please, stop.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also think that, like, other streaming services decided to also get ballsy, like Spotify. $11.99? And I'm a Spotify girly through and through. Apple Music is great value. I'm so sorry.
I'm Apple Music.
I know.
I just feel like Spotify, like, you have to have a certain plan to actually, like, look for a certain song. Like, if not, then they give you songs like it. And I just want to get straight to the point. I want to go to the song that I want. I don't want recommendations.
Okay.
I'm not here for similarities. I'm here for the fucking song. Give it to me. Like,
I get that. I was thinking about switching over, but then I decided, like, I have my playlist on Spotify since, like, 2017. Like, I'm, like, 8 years deep. I can't, you know? But it's okay.
I've never had, like, I've had Spotify in the past, but Apple Music is expensive too, $10.99.
Yeah, but now Spotify is more than Apple Music.
By like $1.
Do you ever get those notifications on your phone that you were charged like $3.99 from Apple, and you're like, what the fuck even is this?
I know. And sometimes I let it go, and then sometimes I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
I should probably, like, look into
Investigate into what this is.
But then I can never figure out what the fuck it is. And I have to call my bank, and they're like, well, we don't know what this is. Like, and so then I let it go. But it's a lot. It's like...
every month. And I'm like, for what? Like, I need a description.
Yeah. they need to work on giving descriptions.
For sure. Dude, crazy news. So Yolanda Saldivar, as we all know, she murdered Sorina Quintanilla. She came out in an interview with BBC, and BBC, yes. Is it BBC?
Yes.
Okay, BBC Network. And she said she wants to work with Shakira upon her release. And I just feel like that feels threatening to me. Like, I need eyes on Shakira 24/7.
I don't even know if I can say this on the podcast. You really think she's even gonna make it out? Like,
oh my God, don't say that. But I honestly, I can, don't laugh.
I'm sorry.
No,
It's
I'm
you know
sure.
how, like, people make memes, and I think it's funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I don't know, but I thought it was a wild, like, are you okay? Like, you really think that anyone's gonna let you near Shakira, let alone
do you think anyone's gonna exactly, like, let's be so fucking for real?
Yeah.
And you know, she's been coming up with that little show, like how she didn't do it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Me neither.
I've seen the
I didn't want to give her the time of day. But what if she didn't do it? Does that ever come into your head? Like with like different people, like different like
people who have been incarcerated for
where
something?
you're just like, what if? Or are they that delusional that they believe that they didn't do it that that heavily?
I always think that too. Like, I agree. It's like a tiny less than 1% of me. I'm like, ugh, you know?
Yeah.
But
because they fight it so hard.
Yeah. And I'm sure people believe
I'm an
her.
empath.
Yeah, but I'm sure people believe that she didn't do it.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen it all over TikTok. And then I'm like, okay, well, why do y'all believe it?
Yeah, like, I don't see any part of what you're seeing. I don't understand, you know?
So, like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing?
Yeah.
It's like being in a cult.
Oh my God, did you watch that Netflix documentary?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. And it makes me wonder, could I ever be convinced to be in a cult?
I'm not gullible enough, but I'm nosy enough.
That's literally what other people have said.
Yes, I feel like I could be persuaded to just, like, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I feel like I could channel my inner thoughts and be like, this isn't real. But at the same time, I'm also a dumb bitch. So there's that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I just feel like, you know, in the cult, they were like, you have to give, like, a lot of the percentage to the church. Like, 10, 10, and 10. I'd be like, absolutely not. 0 to the church. Yeah. 0 to the man of God.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be like, I'm not tipping God. Are you serious?
Like, no, thank you.
No. Yeah, that's like, if money wasn't involved,
maybe you would be dumb enough to fall for it. I'm not very religious, and I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Teach their own.
To each their own. I know that there's people out there that are very religious, but like, I just don't know. Like, I think that I could be persuaded because I'd be nosy. Like, what goes on in there? And I would just like go one time.
Yeah, like
and then also like I have a really hard time sometimes. Wow, a really hard time sometimes saying no. So I'll be like, okay, I'll be back.
You know. You know what I was just thinking of? The people that like are in Scientology, like, you know, they had to have like been convinced. So that's always like what are they telling you?
Yeah.
And you know, like there's like Scientology places, like people like go in and like do like a tour of this. What are they telling you in there? And like, I'm curious. I would want to know, but I feel like I would never come out.
Like, you would want to go on the tour.
Yeah.
But you don't know if you want to, you know, buy the product.
Yeah, it's kind of like those timeshares they take on the
Exactly. And see, like, I've been scammed into doing that in Cabo. So, like,
oh my God, I'm scammed. I got scammed too.
So it's like, could the cult get me? Maybe.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
And then, like, I'm always like, well, like, I'll think about it. Like, knowing damn well I'm not going to think about it. So they're probably like,
following up.
Yeah, like, hey
girl, come back. No, I used to think that I was above getting scammed, and then I got scammed, and I did not even see it coming.
Absolutely.
And Chris was like,
no, Kathy, we full on got scammed. Like, you didn't fall for it.
No, I did get scammed. I got scammed by someone on Instagram selling tickets.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh, you did?
They sent me their Zelle and it didn't match their name. And I was like, I'm sure it's the same person. Sent over the money. Then they blocked me.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And remember, then I messaged so I thought the person that was the picture was the actual person that was scamming me. So I found their family on Facebook. And I told them, like, your son scammed me. And then they were like, oh no, someone's been trying to steal his identity, blah, blah, blah. And so I sent him all the information. Then I apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry. I thought you scammed me.
Oh my God. Yeah, ours wasn't that intense. We just got scammed in Cabo. They're like, me and Esteban, we were on our honeymoon. We were walking through the Cabo, like where you go get your freaking driver, and the hotel has sent us a driver, and we're like, yeah, we're with LeBlanc, and they're like, oh yeah, come over here, and then they're like telling us, and then he's like, you have to do this because like this is how my son eats.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to be the reason someone's son didn't eat. So then I was like, okay. So then we had to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning to go to this like talk. And I was literally puking because I don't know if I got like, if I drank too much or I drank the water in Mexico. So I was like dying. And so I was like, I don't think I can make it to the timeshare. And he's like, please, my son won't. And I got up. Like, I was puking.
Honestly, I understand that. Like, when I'm like, oh, like, you know, you're dumb, but, like, you're not. Because I would feel the same way.
If someone brings in, like, family.
When someone tries to guilt trip me, I'll fucking do it.
Yeah. Because I just, you know that you're, like, pulling at my heartstrings. And I just cannot say no. And they sense it. They probably smell it. They're like,
she's weak. She's a weak one.
Yeah.
Like in a pack of lions. Yeah. She's like thick as hell.
Like all these other people just walked right through and me like, okay, I know. How much do I have to pay?
I know. And then they always tell you not to look around. And I'm fucking looking around like the dumbest bitch.
Dude. And then I feel so bad saying no.
I know. They smell the fear.
Yeah.
And the weakness.
Yeah, they really do.
Probably with the tequila. Oh, God. Dude, no, I get it. I've been there. But so I feel like we would be gullible enough to be
in a cult.
Yeah.
And that girl's still in the cult.
Yeah, and apparently she's like knee deep in it too. Like she doesn't know that she's in a cult. That's scary. Like, how do you come to? That's always like really confusing to me. Like, maybe not. Is there cults outside of church? Like, is there cults for like other shit?
I'm not sure. I feel like all the Netflix things that I've seen have always been within the church.
Yes,
I think it has to be with the church because a lot of people worship. You have to like worship
someone,
and I think there's like cults for the devil.
Really?
I think so. I could be speaking out of place, but
wow. I feel like MLMs are cults.
MLMs? What is
like,
that?
You know, multi-level marketing. Oh. Like the ones where you have to like bring people
like
in.
Herbal.
I think it's Herbalife. Herbal? Herbalife? Wow. Also, like...
I can't believe I said that.
Monet? It's like the hair thing. Mary Kay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Talking about Monet, did you see what fucking Monet made Michael's boyfriend? No hate to Monet.
Oh, yeah.
But what Jalen said about being a provider.
Okay, I have a different opinion than everybody else.
No, okay. Don't do it.
No,
You're gonna make me mad.
Hold on. I'm not saying that. Like, if she likes it, I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work for me. Like, that's not the style that I'm in. But if she likes it, I love it. You know? Like, if it works for you, then why am I gonna shit on it?
No. That's not. I get that, but I just feel like he literally makes probably in a month what people make in a year, and you're sitting here giving the provider talk. Shut the fuck up! Like you're embarrassing. Like,
oh my God,
he's gonna be the downfall of Monet because he can't keep his fucking mouth shut. Yeah. He is icky. He gives me the ick.
He's corny as fuck. That's the problem.
Oh, it's just like, dude, like, why are you talking about being a provider when I'm sure Monet gets her hair like cut, probably because people are like, well, we want to do Monet's hair, so like they give her everything, right? And you're gonna sit here and say things like, oh, you know, men, like, providing is so expensive in this economy. You make so much money. Like, if this was coming from another person,
like a regular person,
from a regular person who was making a year's salary in a year, not in a month, okay, it would be different.
Yeah.
But it's like when it's this, the thing with these men is that they want to be the prize, just like Simone Biles' husband.
I saw that video.
And it makes the women look dumb.
And having to defend, like, why they're chose.
Did you see that Monet posted on her Instagram story something about how, like, Michelle Obama had said that.
Girl.
Sometimes, did you see it?
No, but if you're comparing your...
Yeah, like, someone was like, the difference is Obama was running the country. Your boyfriend is running his mouth. Like, because Michelle said something like, oh, you know, sometimes it has to be 70-30 and it can't be 50-50. But, you know, Obama was the literal president.
Yeah.
And you are Jalen. Like,
yeah, he was on Love Island, and I didn't like him. So I've never really, like, been a fan of him. But I really like Monet. I think she's beautiful.
I really like Monet, too. But I think that...
Also, you knew better. Like, this is another thing. Like, I understand what he's trying to say. We all have differences in opinions. We all know what works for us in our relationships, right? But you know that people are going to drag her. Like, why the fuck would you say that?
Yeah.
Like...
No, and also, no, and to me, it's not even that. It's the fact that, like, you basically capitalize on being good looking. Like,
and Monet's boyfriend.
And being Monet's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you know what I think it is? He doesn't like the fact that he is known as Monet's boyfriend and that she probably makes more money than him, so he has to say some stupid shit to fucking get the attention off of her or something. But, like, come on. Like, you make enough money to do this for your girlfriend. And even if you didn't, Monet would probably, you know... Yeah. It's Monet.
I think it's okay to just sometimes not say things out loud.
Yeah.
Like, if it works for you, that's great. But
and
like,
you know, some men were probably like, Jalen.
No, of course.
Making some, like, a good point, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you literally...
Yeah, he embarrassed her. I wish he would have just...
Not.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Not to be mean, but I also think, like, let's keep it 100 though. Like, at the end of the day, like, people that are bashing her and him in their comment sections, like, relax. Like, they're gonna do whatever they want.
Yeah.
His take can be bad, and we can have that opinion, but you don't have to be so goddamn mean about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I just was.
Yeah, but, like, you're not going on her Instagram and leaving her hate comments and hate DMs. Because, like, people are sending her messages on her Instagram. I can guarantee it. Like, I can put my life on it that they're sending her, like, paragraphs of why she's an idiot. And that's hard to read. Like, let her live, but also, like, read the room.
Yeah.
You know?
But, yeah, he needs to, like...
Yeah. I also think he's corny as fuck. And I'm a lover girl. I'm a romantic bitch. But he is the corniest motherfucker ever. And I can't stand it because it's for the female gaze.
Fake.
It's for the female gaze to get views. And it's not, like, in my opinion, it's not, like, authentic. And that's why it bothers me. Like, you ever see those men on TikTok that, like, literally cater their pages to, like, ladies, don't let a man tell you, you know, that he can only do the bare minimum when they can do more. They know they can. And, like, they're saying, like, literally the dumbest, most basic shit. And the women in the comment sections are, like, eating it the fuck up. And they're like, I would choose you over the bear. Like, girl, I need you to stand the fuck up.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my next point. We're about to do our reality recap. And I want to start out strong. We have on our list here Vanderpump Rules first. But I feel like this is a perfect segue into Summer House. Let's talk about the reunion. Wes.
Can suck a dick. I'm just kidding. Sorry. He's infuriating.
Yeah, he is.
He is infuriating. Like, you basically just wanted clout. Like,
yes. And the thing is, his fall from grace is wild because he was so loved throughout the entire season. Like, I'm talking about everyone was like, this is the number one guy in the group, you know, referencing the whole Jax Taylor thing. And Jesse and Wes just referenced, my sister just started watching Summer House, so I'm going to catch her up on, like, a few things that she probably doesn't know. Summer House hasn't had a good set of dudes besides Carl and Kyle, and they're questionably good, but, like, a good reality TV. Mm-hmm. Like, every season they have, like, a new set of dudes, and it just doesn't work. I love Andre. I wish they kept him, but they didn't, because I think he didn't want to do it anymore because he was engaged. But they brought in Wes and Jesse, and they immediately were loved by the Bravo fan base. Mm-hmm. And it's predominantly women. People were like, oh my God, Summer House is so good. In the midst of Vanderpump Rules season 11 being so, like, hard to watch, Summer House rose from the ashes of season 7. And so people were, like, really loving them. Like, they were shipping Sierra and Wes the entire season. People were like, oh my God, finally Sierra's getting, like, somebody that treats her well, because Sierra had, like, a bad, like, last situationship with someone else that was on a different reality TV show on Bravo. And he ended up being exactly what she feared.
And it's so heartbreaking because Sierra looks like someone who has a really good head on her shoulders.
Yeah.
She has her shit together. She has her career. Mm-hmm. And she has voiced what she wanted.
Exactly.
And I think that is a level of disrespect that I could never look past after that.
Yeah.
Because she says that she's not someone that sleeps around, and it's just not for her. Mm-hmm. So for her to allow, like, because they ended up having sex, but for her to open up to you like that, someone who doesn't just have sex with just anyone, and you still were a piece of shit. For what? Like,
yeah. Like, she gave you an out as well.
And she gave him an out. That was the most frustrating part. It's like, if someone gives you an out, and you know that this is what you want to do, you want to fuck around, that's what you want to do, leave.
Yeah. Like, don't string her along.
Don't disrespect her like that.
It was wild to me, the fact that in the Summer House Season 8 Reunion Part 1, he literally said, I didn't want it to get messier, so I needed to cut it off. You took her to your parents. You went to a wedding with her. You had sex with her. She gave you an out and you didn't take it because you wanted to fuck. Just say that. Stop giving these corporate ass roundabout answers of why you did what you did. Just say the truth. You got it. You got into the Bravo universe. You were like, damn, like all these women want me now. They want to like, you know, suck on my dick, basically. So I'm going to give up this girl because I want to experience that, which is fine. Had you always led with that intention.
Yeah.
Instead of playing her. That's the thing. People are like, oh, well, what did you expect? Him to get married to her? No. Just be respectful about it. That's all she wanted.
He could have just walked away from the beginning.
Yeah.
And he wasted her time.
And he also lied and said that he didn't sleep with anyone over the summer, and he did.
He's scum.
Yeah. And I mean, he's going to be on the Biofiles next week, so I'm definitely curious to see what he says. I hope that Nick kind of, you know, interrogates him a little bit because it's very confusing. Like, he's not showing any emotion during the reunion.
No.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And Sierra cried.
Yeah. And in the snippet for the next reunion part, which is I think is the final part of the reunion, Andy asks him what his biggest regret is, and he tells Sierra, I'm sorry. Essentially, he's like, my biggest regret is like hurting you, obviously. And then Kyle's like, I could still ship you guys. And Andy asks Sierra, would you ever give Wes a second chance? And she doesn't say no. She says there will have to be a world of change, but I'm not holding my breath. And I'm like, girl.
Sierra,
like,
don't do it.
She left the door minimally opened, but she left it open. I was like, no.
Kyle crying for Sierra was like...
Yeah, no, it was sweet. And I'm like, I'm not the biggest Kyle fan, but like people are saying that it's like rooted in some other shit. And I'm like, I genuinely think that Kyle was like feeling for his friend. I don't think it's for anything else.
Because Sierra was being very genuine. Like she was like, I don't just let people in. Like this is my real life.
Yeah.
And he hurt her. Like period. The speech that Paige gave though was everything.
Paige is a queen. I mean, let's be real. She does kind of piss me off sometimes. I will say, like, as a person who really loved Paige for a long time, I did find it off-putting that she kind of geared some anger towards Lindsay when it came to the whole, like, Danielle sending in the Demois post. But Danielle can suck a dick. I do not like Danielle at all.
She annoys me. She's
so annoying. The fact that she wanted an apology from Lindsay for sending in the Demois post because Lindsay defended herself and said it was her, like, what did you expect? What did you expect?
I feel like a lot of people give Lindsay a lot of hate.
I love Lindsay, and I know that's not a popular opinion. I think that Lindsay...
When Carl was like, I paid for the wedding, like, just, like, listing all the things that he did, I'm sorry.
What did you expect?
That's exactly what you should have done.
I know.
Like, and the thing is, a lot of people... I think that this happened also with Vanderpump Rules. They just don't like Ariana. And so that's why they feel some sort of way. So, like, these people just didn't like Lindsay. Yeah. So, because they didn't like Lindsay, Carl could have done whatever to Lindsay and they didn't give a fuck. That's fine. That's your opinion. But let's be so fucking for real. He re-signed a lease a month before calling off the wedding. Like,
of course she thought it was going to happen.
Yeah. Like, not only that, but, like... Then you're sitting here naming all of the things that you have done. It's exactly what you should have done.
Yeah. I mean, you want her to give you a hug? Like, the fuck?
Yeah. If you call off the wedding and you just, like... That is not a decision he made overnight.
No.
Like, it's a decision that he had maybe been sitting on. And, like, you re-sign a lease. I don't know. I feel like Carl tries to play, like, the victim. And he's not.
I agree. And I got dragged for saying that. But I will say this till the day is dark. Lindsay may be toxic, but so is Carl.
Yes.
Yes.
He is very toxic.
And I do believe that he would tell lies about Lindsay.
Yes. I also believe he would tell lies about Lindsay because he feels like... This is the thing. I think that Carl was setting up season 8 to villainize Lindsay. And what he wanted to do was plant little seeds here and there throughout the season as to why he wanted to break off the engagement with Lindsay. That this is just me just saying he wanted to villainize her, call off the engagement. The thing is, people are also seeing like Lindsay's side on things. And so then him villainizing Lindsay the entire season just goes to show that you wanted to call off the wedding way before a month prior and you fucking wasted her time and then you re-signed the lease. Please.
Yeah. And they had the conversation.
Some people can literally see right through you.
Yeah, and they had the conversation in the kitchen during season 8 where she was like, do you still want to marry me? And he said yes. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, Lindsay has done her fair share of mistakes. I'm not saying she's the complete victim here, but I do think that they both took a part of it. People love to shit on Lindsay because she's not tender and soft like they want her to be.
But also, Carl knew that. You guys were friends for, 6 years prior to that? Like, if you didn't know this girl, then I would understand why you're, like... Shocked. But you knew who Lindsay was as a person. What did you expect?
Yeah.
For her to change?
Yeah.
For you?
Exactly.
What? Go be with Lala if you want someone in the fucking soft era.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see. I really just don't like how it's always Lindsay's fault. Like, it pisses me off so much that Lindsay is always made to be the villain in every scenario, when in reality, Carl also has fault in many things.
Yes, I think that's the reason why it pisses me off, is because a lot of the times it's like, okay, I understand that, like, Lindsay's not the best person ever, but, like, let's take a step back and also realize that Carl isn't the best person ever. So two things can be true at once.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we're going to see the reunion. I think the reunion ends this week, but I have to tell you something. So last night there was a Dumois post, or the night before, that apparently, this is allegedly Dumois, we don't know if it's true, that Kyle was seen getting flirty with someone that's not Amanda. And Kyle has cheated on Amanda in the past.
Damn.
I wouldn't put it past Kyle, but I also feel like Dumois sometimes is not true. So we really have to wait and see.
Like I said earlier, I need videos and pictures in order for me to believe it.
That's fair.
Because like we're in 2024. Snap a quick little pic.
Yeah.
Quick little video.
Yeah. If the person said they were sitting like close to them. So I'm like, you could have taken a video if this is true. So we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But speaking of videos, we need to talk about Kyle Chan, Victoria, and Billy.
Do you believe Victoria and Kyle?
No. So
I believe Billy.
Quick little recap. Tom Sandoval's girlfriend, Victoria, is like low-key beefing with Billy Lee. Billy Lee was a member of Vanderpump Rules, cast member a while ago.
Tom Sandoval's like bestie after Sandoval.
Yeah, so Billy Lee defended Tom Sandoval. They were best friends. Essentially, they had a falling out. Billy shared her side of the story on a podcast that she has, and Joe was the guest, in which Joe was so fucking annoying, she would not shut the fuck up. Anyway, she shared that Tom Sandoval and Victoria were very toxic. Essentially, Victoria said that Billy and Tom were trying to sleep together a bunch of times. It was just toxic, and Billy didn't want to be a part of it. Victoria demanded that Tom would move Ariana's stuff out of the primary bedroom so that he could move in there. And then Billy shared all of this on her podcast. Victoria says it's not true. Victoria and Kyle Chan, who's Tom Sandoval's best friend, went on the Up and Adam YouTube channel on live and shared their side of the story.
It's a lot. It's like, a lot. Are y'all trying to be like on Vanderpump Rules season 12?
I genuinely believe they're trying to create a storyline for season 12.
With Billy?
Maybe not necessarily, like, I feel like there's half truth in every situation here, but I do believe that this could be like enticing enough to put in season 12.
I believe Billy.
Yeah, I mean, Billy said that Tom and Victoria were toxic and that Tom was sober until Victoria and that they were trying to do an intervention. But some of the things that they were saying on the live with Adam, like, those are damaging things that they were saying that Billy had said about them. So one of the things was that Kyle Chan, Tom's best friend, tried to drug him and take advantage of him. That's crazy.
But Billy said that Victoria told her that. So it's like this back he said forth. She said like game at this moment, and it's like, so I have a feeling that Victoria, okay, so because I believe Billy, okay, I feel like Victoria probably went to Kyle and was like, Billy said this about you, but really Victoria said that to Billy about Kyle. So,
and they said there's footage in the kitchen where they had this conversation. So put out the footage.
Yeah. When people are like, I have footage, and then they don't put out the footage, you could bring that little text message that Billy Lee sent you, but you can't bring the footage. Yeah. Drop the footage.
Exactly.
Period.
And they like danced around that part whenever Adam asked him about it. They were like not getting to the point. Also, the live was 1 hour and 35 minutes. When I tell you that these people cannot get to the point, I was like, get to the point. She said that she had been in a car accident. That's why she slurs her words. So I'm not trying to take a dig at her. But they will not get to the point. She was going in circles. Kyle Chan, I mean, he lied. He didn't tell Ariana about Raquel and Tom, and he knew. So it's like, would I put him past being a liar? Yeah. No. So.
And Tom's out doing
the Traitors.
Traitors.
Which is just. the timing is so perfect of it all. Like, of course, Tom doesn't have to actually respond to any of this because he's out. Like, he has his girlfriend and his best friend do it.
Everything revolves around Tom Sandoval. Drop him. Like, all of y'all. Like, all of this mess. He's the center of attention. He probably loves it.
Oh, like, of course. Of course. It feeds his ego. But also at the same time, it feeds all of their egos too. Like, I don't think Billy's innocent 100% because this is clout. Like, this is probably the most listens, the most views they've all gotten on their shit too. So it's like, they're not hating on it.
Yeah. I will say this though. Joe being on Billy's podcast was...
Oh my God.
And I only saw a clip.
I watched the full thing.
On Reality Ops.
Oh my God, shout out to Reality Ops.
Reality Ops. Page. Oh my gosh. Reality Ops by Wake Hello Drama.
Bravo Queens, Daily Bravo Queens or something like that.
Bravo Investigator.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, shout out to the Bravo pages.
Yeah, the Bravo pages are literally the best.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can't sit there and watch the whole thing. Vanderpod recaps. We cannot forget Vanderpod recaps because...
They do the damn thing.
They do they sit there and, you know... Their heads probably hurt watching this.
Yeah.
And then they recap it, and we should be thankful. Because some people can't do it. And watching Joe, like, on the clips, I was like, Joe, like,
chill.
What are you doing? There's a point, too, where, like, I was literally watching her, and she's, like, touching her toes and then touching her teeth. I don't know with the same hand or not, but I'm like, Joe, please. And, you know, Billy... I feel like Billy low-key called out Joe and was like, it's okay if you lied. Just, this is a safe space for you to tell the truth. And Joe's like, I don't lie. Like,
yeah. I mean, she held her to the fire, but she didn't sink her in it, which I wish she had.
That was the time for Billy to be like, okay.
This is what you said.
This is what you said. I think this is a lie. Like, if you invite someone over to your podcast, like, come on.
Yeah, but they're friends. And I feel like at the same time, having Joe on Billy's podcast brings Billy, like, views and having... Their friendship is clout-based.
Yeah, just like Raquel and Joe's.
Of course. Like, you think that Joe doesn't love this? Like, she loves this. Like, she loves being a part of... Apparently, she had been trying to be on Vanderpump Rules forever. Like, I'm not shocked at all. Like, Kristen Doty had said, like... And I know that people try to make Kristen Doty to be out like some liar. Yeah, she lied. Maybe she's a psycho. But Kristen, at the end... is always vindicated.
Yeah.
Always. Always, always, always. Especially with the Valley. You don't think that Janet had her little hand in all the situations that were playing around? She's the reason why people were icing out Kristen. Don't get me wrong, Kristen shouldn't have said the things she said because, you know, she popped off. But Janet is a master manipulator, and I don't fuck with her.
I hate Janet. There's
oh my God, I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I hate Janet so hard. Like... And, like, I'm sorry, but, like, I just hate her so much. She is the fucking worst. Yeah. Like, and I cannot wait for season 2 when she's not pregnant anymore. Because she won't be pregnant anymore. She already had her baby. And congratulations to her. Like I'm
happy for you.
Yeah, happy for you and your family. So happy that the baby is safe
healthy.
And healthy. But take the baby out of this. You suck. Like, you are literally the worst. And, like, people walked on eggshells around her because she was pregnant. And now you're not going to be pregnant anymore.
Yeah, you don't have that little cushion to let people, like, not blow on you.
And I'm just, like, so over her.
I know.
Like, you know, recently, she has a podcast with Jason.
And Jason is such a gem. I'm like, how?
You know what? So, I thought the same thing. And I thought that because we also met him. So, and I felt like Jason was really nice. But you have to be some level crazy to be married to Janet. So,
yeah. Okay, these are my thoughts. So Janet is a master manipulator. She used being pregnant, to kind of like take the edge off of her and kind of like be like, when Jax was trying to like call her out on something, she was like, I'm pregnant, keep that in mind. You know, like, okay, we understand. Zach said it perfectly. She may, in normal scenarios, she may like manipulate and you weren't able to see it, but now it's on camera. You guys are seeing it. Like, she played a hand in all of the situations that occurred this season. And I'm saying this now. The reunion not happening is the best thing that could happen to Janet because she would have gotten roasted the fuck up.
And I wanted that.
I know.
I wanted that. But some people saying that the reunion not happening is a good thing because they're going into season 2, like...
mad?
Yeah.
True. So, I mean, it is what it is. I definitely need to see Kristen more. Like, production, this show is based around 3 people. Everyone else is a side character until season 3. Okay?
Yeah.
So, we need more Kristen Doty.
Yeah, we need more Kristen Doty. Well, it's because they iced her out in a sense. And Janet got what she wanted.
I know.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah.
But you know what? Jesse Lawley recently went on a podcast, I think the Popping Off podcast, and said that his relationship with Kristen will be different moving forward because now he sees that Jax is the reason.
Yeah, the rumor started.
About his marriage. And
because Jax is the worst. He's literally the worst. The fact that at the finale, he was like, Brittany was like, did you make the appointment for therapy? And he was like, I made it yesterday. And he was like, that's the time I got around to it. And she was like, no, it's because the cameras were coming. Like, and then he didn't even go. Not because he didn't want to go or he was scared to go, but because it was far. This man does not give a fuck. He will publicly humiliate Brittany till the day is dark. And the fact that she stays, just, Brittany, I need you to stand up, girl, and walk out.
I know. And after the finale, he tweeted, you may want to ask Brittany who she's been sleeping with for the past 4 months. That sent people into a little frenzy, okay? It was like, is she sleeping with someone new? Because if she was, shout out to Brittany. But then, then he posted a picture of Brittany and Cruz in bed. So people then were saying, is it about Jax? Which, what pisses me off is like, okay, I understand that they're married and they're trying to work on their marriage and they don't want to get a divorce, right? You were just seen with that other girl.
Yeah. Paige was like last week.
Last week. 2 weeks ago. 3 if we're trying to be like fucking exact. So you've been sleeping with Brittany for 4 months and...
Also fucking around with Paige? Yeah, we don't believe you just went to lunch with her.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he told us in person,
yes,
me and Brittany are separated, we can do whatever we want. And now you're working on things?
Yeah. I think this is what happened. This is my little theory.
Please tell us.
I think that Brittany was like, okay, we're separated. Brittany started getting attention from another man. Jax didn't like it because Jax wants to be the attention. Like, he can go and fuck someone else. But if Brittany went to go fuck someone else, he's like, no, like, she's mine. And I think he peeped Brittany doing that and was like, I want to go back to Brittany.
Yeah. I think he probably doesn't see the game that, like, he doesn't get as much as he thought he would. But at the same time, I do think that women would fall for Jax. Like, I mean, they do.
He looks different in person than he does on TV. I can't say he's not an attractive man. I'm not like calling him ugly would be a lie. True. I personally don't think that he's like the hottest shit around, but he's like he's put together. He's put together. Exactly.
If he wasn't such a dick, he would be like more attractive, but his personality makes him so ugly.
So, like, looking at him, you're like, okay, like, that's not an ugly man. Yeah. But you know his personality and he sucks. So
it is an ugly man.
Yeah, then you become a -10.
Yeah. If he didn't speak, he'd be like a 7, but he does. So like, I'm serious. Like, Tom Sandoval, I think is ugly on the inside and out. Like, I don't think he's attractive.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's ugly to me inside and out. Tom Schwartz, I'm sorry. I know that people don't like him, but I think Tom Schwartz is so handsome.
So handsome.
But he's an idiot. So he's like a 2.
Yeah.
Jax is conventionally attractive. Do I find him attractive? No. But I get why people are attracted to him physically. On the inside, he's trash. So he's a -10. So it's like...
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. Now I want to know, like, are him and Brittany back together? Is this for real? They came out with a podcast episode, but I didn't listen to it fully. I need to. But in the podcast episode, she did bring up the fact that Lala talked about the little argument at the reunion. And she was like, I was taken aback because they had already apologized to each other. And
Lala's just grasping at straws at this point.
Yeah.
She's like,
girl, it's the thing that Ariana said at the reunion. Just because it didn't air, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. Like, you guys already had the conversation. And I said this on my TikTok, and I will say this again. Lala bringing up Brittany the way she did was a way to fucking weasel into the valley. And I'm so glad. Look, I don't like Alex Baskin, but he was like, no, we're bursting at the seams at the valley. We don't need Sheena. We don't need Lala. And I love that, because then Kristen went on the Bio Files and said, you know, I'm happy, like, we did it on our own. And she threw a little shade there and said, you know, it's not our fault that Sheena and Lala decided to buy 2 houses each.
Yeah. and now, like, Sheena's, you know, she's probably freaking out.
Sheena is on panic mode right now. She is literally trying to throw anyone and everyone under the bus instead of being like, okay, so as we know, she has said that producers said that if X, Y, and Z did not happen, then the show was going to be canceled and they could go and live their lives, right?
Yeah.
Well, Alex Baskin came out and was like, we didn't tell them to do that. He, like, in a nicely way said,
Sheena's exaggerating. And she's dramatic.
But also he said that he wanted them to do what they've done in the past 10 seasons for it to work.
Yeah. But Alex Baskin is also shady as fuck, so I don't trust anything he says.
Absolutely. But the thing with Sheena is, like, Sheena, you and Lala could have moved differently. Why is it that no one else, like why is it that Katie didn't fall for the bait? Like y'all are just, I hate to say it, but y'all are easily manipulated. Like, they were probably like, the show's gonna get canceled, or like right in front of their face, and they're like, oh, let me fucking bite it, because they're that desperate. Like, you're desperate.
Yeah, for a paycheck.
Yeah, and it shows. Like,
yeah, I mean, Brock, get on LinkedIn. Like,
yeah,
I'm
like,
just kidding. No, he does his little DIY projects on TikTok. Apparently, I did say something on my TikTok. I said that Lala and Sheena, if they had looked at it from a selfish point of view, not only are they bad friends, but they're bad businesswomen. Like, why wouldn't you? If you're a smart businesswoman and you're going into Vanderpump Rules season 11, why? If you don't give a fuck about Ariana, you only care about getting the bag, you would have stuck on her side.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually dumb.
Like, you are actually dumb. Like, you guys literally fell for, like, you guys literally took the wrong side.
Yeah. And Ariana's side would have paid.
And in a business, exactly.
Yeah.
Ariana's side would have paid. And that's what sucks. That, like, you guys...
They did volunteer work for nothing.
For nothing. Like, literally, like, a paycheck was waved in front of your face. But if you just were smart enough, you would know that.
Yeah.
And, like, Sheena's making it sound like they forced her to be friends with Tom Sandoval. And I understand that they probably pulled at Sheena's heartstrings. But, like, Sheena, you should have done exactly what you wanted to do and been authentic.
And the show would have done so well.
So well.
Yeah.
And then you guys would have realized that, like,
yeah,
maybe I don't need to be taking productions, like,
Q points.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be quite honest, like, I find it just... If you're selfish and you only care about yourself and your paycheck, you would have gone in and fucking rode on Ariana's dick. Because that would have been a bag. But you fumbled that because you're stupid.
You fumbled a huge bag. And now you lost a friendship.
Yeah.
Now you lost a friendship with someone who literally has been there for you from the beginning of her time on Vanderpump Rules.
Exactly.
And Sheena recently said that, you know, that she would be more of a girl's girl if she was put in a group of girls that were actually, like...
She was capable to do that
with?
Okay.
And... It's so frustrating because, like, I get it. The girls were not nice to Sheena when she came in. Let's be fucking for real. They were not nice to Sheena, okay? But also, Sheena, you have to understand that you came in as the mistress.
Yeah.
And they were probably a little on edge because you are the mistress. Mm-hmm. But you're speaking about this, and a lot of those girls are not even on the show anymore. And the girl that has stuck by your side from the very beginning of her time on Vanderpump Rules, and even before then, because they had been friends before then...
Never said that.
You couldn't be a girl's girl to her. You're not a girl's girl, period. Yeah. You're not a girl's girl.
And the gag is, Tom Sandoval called her a mistress, and she defended him. So it's not about being a girl's girl. She's just, I'm sorry, Sheena's just dumb.
Yeah.
And selfish. But I think that they fumbled her back. I think that Lala and Sheena are in for a rude awakening. I don't think they expected the season to go the way it did.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Until next time.
But thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. We're so excited that you guys are here every single week. It is so exciting to us to see the numbers grow and the chismosas grow. So if you want to go check us out on TikTok, it's Morning Chisme Podcast. On Instagram, it's Morning Chisme Pod. And we're on YouTube and Spotify and Apple. Y'all have a great week.
Bye, chismosas.
Bye, guys.